Whispers of the Lost Canvas. In the heart of Savannah, Georgia, the charming but often overlooked Coastal Art Museum was about to receive a new curator. Lena Hart was a passionate art historian, newly appointed and determined to breathe new life into the museum's collection. Lena's mission was to highlight the underrepresented voices in art, particularly those of queer artists throughout history. Just as she began to settle into her role, an unexpected visit disrupted her routine. Isabella Chambers, the museum's enigmatic benefactor, arrived one sunny afternoon with a painting shrouded in mystery, a weathered canvas that had belonged to her late grandmother. Lena was intrigued when Isabella requested her assistance in uncovering the history behind the artwork, even as Isabella's cool demeanor hinted at deeper emotional currents beneath her polished exterior. Lena was excited. She had always been captivated by the stories that artworks held, and the prospect of unraveling Isabella's family history was exhilarating. The moment she stepped into the reception area, her heart raced, her curiosity piqued as she recognized Isabella's presence on the other side of the glass doors. With her striking auburn hair cascading over a tailored navy blazer, Isabella radiated an understated elegance. The tension in the air was palpable. "Hello," Lena greeted, trying to mask her fluster. "How can I help you today?" Isabella looked up, her piercing green eyes locking onto Lena's. "I need someone who truly understands the significance of art," she replied, her voice smooth but distant. "This painting is important to my family." "Of course, I'd love to help," Lena said, her enthusiasm barely containing her eagerness. "Do you mind if I have a look at it?" With a hesitant nod, Isabella revealed the painting, a feminine figure, partially obscured by delicate brushstrokes, holding a flower. Lena felt a shiver down her spine. It was the work of Lilith Marrow, a talented yet tragically overlooked 20th-century painter known for her haunting depictions of love between women. Lena couldn't contain her excitement. "This is incredible." Lilith Marrow was a pioneer. Her works tell a powerful story about love and loss. Isabella's brow furrowed as she gripped the painting tighter. "That's exactly what worries me. My grandmother always spoke about the woman in this painting, the one she loved. They were torn apart at a time when society simply would not accept them." As they delved deeper into the painting's backstory, an undeniable connection began to form between Lena and Isabella. Each revelation they uncovered about Lilith and her lover, a courageous woman named Clara, echoed the struggles that many queer couples faced throughout history. Lena proposed a special exhibition dedicated to Lilith Marrow's work highlighting her connection to queer love. "With your influence, we can bring these stories to life," she exclaimed. But just as excitement enveloped them, an unexpected letter arrived, a claim from an unknown relative trying to stake their claim on the painting. The news hit Isabella hard, forcing her to confront painful memories of her past, the harsh realities of her grandmother's life, and the sacrifices she made for love. Consumed by her family's history and the weight of expectations, Isabella withdrew. Lena was determined to bring her back. After an intense night filled with warmth and vulnerability, they shared their own stories. For the first time, Isabella found someone who understood her loss and her love. The following weeks were a whirlwind of emotions as they worked alongside each other, drawing strength and courage from their growing bond. Each layer of paint they uncovered in the artwork mirrored the layers of trust they peeled away in their own relationship. The tension within Isabella began to dissolve, replaced by something warm and beautiful. Yet even as they approached the exhibition's unveiling, Isabella hesitated. Would she allow their growing love to flourish, or would the fear of rejection from the past hold her back? On the day of the exhibition, with anticipation coursing through the museum, Lena stood beside the painting, accepting her own feelings of love for Isabella. Their shared smiles filled the room, a testament to the love that could transcend time, echoing through history. As Isabella stepped forward, she took a breath, ready to share her grandmother's story, along with her own. It was time to stop whispering in the shadows of history, and bring their love into the light. In that moment, with the crowd attentive and eyes sparkling, a new beginning burgeoned, not just for the past forgotten but for a future embraced together. In Savannah that day, through art and love, the whispers of the lost canvas transformed into a symphony, a celebration of history reclaimed and hearts united. As the crowds gathered for the opening of the exhibition, Lena felt a surge of excitement mixed with trepidation. The atmosphere of the Coastal Art Museum was electric, buzzing with anticipation, and the scent of fresh paint mingled with blooming magnolias from the nearby gardens. The warm glow of lights bathed the walls, enhancing the vibrancy of Lilith Marrow's works that adorned the gallery. Isabella stood beside Lena, her elegance heightened by the dark dress she wore, a tribute to the boldness of her grandmother's legacy. Together they could feel the weight of the moment pressing down on them. It was more than just an exhibition, it was the unveiling of long-buried truths. "Thank you for believing in me," Isabella said softly, her voice tinged with emotion. "I was scared to confront my family's past, afraid of what it might mean for us. But now, I see this isn't just about the painting, it's about honoring what was lost and celebrating what can be." Lena's heart swelled with pride, warmth radiating between them. With just a nod, she encouraged Isabella to take center stage. The time had come for her to share the journey they had embarked on together. As the lights dimmed slightly, Isabella stepped up to the microphone, her presence commanding attention. "Thank you all for being here to celebrate this exhibition of the remarkable works by Lilith Marrow," she began, her voice steady yet vulnerable. "But tonight, it's not just about her art. It's about love, love that defied convention, love that was forbidden, and love that deserves to be remembered." Lena watched captivated as Isabella spoke passionately about her grandmother's tumultuous life and the whispers of love between Clara and Lilith. Tears glistened in Isabella's eyes, and as she recounted stories of courage, loss, and hidden love letters discovered in dusty attics, Lena couldn't help but feel her own heart echo the sentiment. At the end of her speech, Isabella turned to Lena, her gaze unwavering. "And this journey led me to Lena. She has shown me not only the importance of my grandmother's legacy, but also that my own story matters. We must live our truth, for our love can inspire others to do the same." The gallery erupted in applause. A swell of gratitude washed over Lena, but it was soon replaced by a more profound sense of clarity. This was not just Isabella's moment, it was theirs. Their shared love, burgeoning like the spring blooms outside, was ready to step into the light. After the crowd dispersed, embracing the art and the stories that now wove through the air like a sweet melody, Lena found a quiet moment with Isabella near the portrait of Lilith and Clara. The painting hung as a centerpiece, the emotions captured in vivid color and swirling strokes inviting them closer. "Will you be okay?" Lena asked softly, worried about the depth of emotion that had been stirred. "You released so much tonight." Isabella turned to Lena, a smile breaking through her earlier vulnerability. "I think for the first time, I feel free," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "Free to claim my grandmother's love as my own." Lena stepped closer, their bodies nearly touching, the warmth between them radiating. "And now it's our turn," she said, her heart pounding. Isabella's gaze was intense and steady. "What if we let our love defy the past? What if we embraced what's ahead, together?" With a shared understanding, they leaned in, their lips brushing together softly at first. That fleeting touch ignited a blaze of emotions, a testament to their growing connection fueled by vulnerability and courage. As the kiss deepened, the world around them faded, leaving only the two of them and the whispering spirit of love that had once been stifled but now found its voice again. Breaking apart, they looked into each other's eyes, each reflecting the beauty of the moment they had just shared. "What now?" Isabella asked, her fingers entwining with Lena's. Lena grinned, exhilarated by the possibilities that lay ahead. "We continue this journey. Your grandmother's legacy deserves to be celebrated, and so does ours. Why don't we delve into more exhibitions that honor queer art? We can explore more stories, bring to life the voices that have been silent for too long." "And what about you and me?" Isabella inquired, her eyes alight with curiosity and desire. Lena held Isabella's hands tighter, feeling an undeniable bond form between them. "We create our own narrative. One of love, passion, and authenticity. With each other, we can write our own history." With renewed determination, they spent the following weeks curating additional exhibitions, each one intertwining the experiences of queer artists throughout history. Their professional partnership flourished while their personal connection deepened with every passing day. They found late nights filled with laughter and impromptu art critiques, quiet moments in the museum's archives, and stolen kisses in the shadows between gallery walls. As the seasons changed, so too did their love, a beautiful tapestry woven through shared dreams and ambitions, publishing a series of essays that intertwined art history with their own reflections on love and identity. One evening, under the southern sky sparkling with stars, they returned to the museum after a long day of planning. The atmosphere was solemn yet tranquil. Out of nowhere, Isabella took Lena's hands in hers, the gravity of the moment palpable. "Do you remember how we began, with that old painting?" she asked, a smile forming on her lips. "How could I forget?" Lena laughed. "That confusing frosty woman who swept in and turned my world upside down." Isabella chuckled, her joy infectious. "It wasn't just about the painting, was it? It was about finding each other on this beautiful journey." "It sure was," Lena said, her heart warm with love. "And I don't want this journey to end." Isabella's gaze glimmered with something deeper. "Would you consider making it more than just a journey? Would you share your life with me, in all its complexity? I want to paint a future with you." Tears built in Lena's eyes at the sincerity of Isabella's words. "Yes," she whispered, overwhelmed but resolute. 1,000 times yes." As they held each other beneath the stars, whispers of love echoed throughout the Coastal Art Museum, blending into the symphony of history reborn. Their love story began not just with the lost canvas of a talented artist, but with a heartfelt promise, one that would forever honor the legacies of those who came before, while boldly embracing the beauty of the life they would create together. As Lena and Isabella stood together under the sparkling southern stars, the world around them seemed to vanish, leaving only the two of them entwined in a promise of love and partnership. It was a moment suspended in time, framed by the backdrop of the Coastal Art Museum, a shrine to their shared journey. In the days that followed their heartfelt exchange, Lena and Isabella dove headfirst into planning the next phase of their exhibitions. Their vision expanded beyond Lilith Marrow and Clara. They began to weave together narratives from various artists, past and present, whose works embraced the complexities of love, identity, and resistance. One crisp autumn morning, the duo visited a local art studio, where they met with emerging queer artists. Together, they sought to amplify the voices of those who had faced similar challenges in their lives. As conversations flowed and ideas sparked, Lena watched Isabella engage with the artists, her passion radiating in every word and gesture. It reminded Lena just how much she admired Isabella's tenacity and commitment to amplifying marginalized voices. "Thank you for this," Lena said softly to Isabella as they walked back to the museum, hand in hand. "I never would have thought that my work could be about more than just the art. It's also about creating a community." Isabella glanced at Lena, her expression radiating warmth. "That's what I love about you, Lena. You open your heart and let others in. We're not just sharing art, we're building connections that ripple out beyond these walls." With each new exhibition, the museum buzzed with energy, hosting lively panel discussions, resilience workshops, and community gatherings that celebrated queer love in all its manifestations. They featured artists from varied backgrounds, each with their own stories to tell. And with each event, Lena and Isabella's bond deepened, profound conversations filled with laughter, late-night brainstorms over glasses of wine, and quiet moments of sweet intimacy behind the gallery's closed doors. As they spent more nights together, softer confessions of love slipped from their lips like music, and their affection grew bolder. One evening, under the soft glow of their favorite cafe's string lights, Isabella reached across the table, her fingers brushing against Lena's. "Do you think we should collaborate on a book?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "A collection of stories from queer artists and their journeys, intertwined with our thoughts and experiences." Lena's heart quickened. "I love that idea. It could be a powerful testament to love's resilience, much like our own story." Their excitement fueled planning sessions filled with ideas about structure, themes, and artist interviews. The book soon transformed from a whimsical thought to a tangible goal. They would create a platform where artistic expressions echoed not just through pictures and prose, but through the candid narratives that shaped their journeys. One crisp evening, as they were reviewing proposals at the museum, Isabella turned contemplative beneath the soft glow of the gallery lights. "You know, this feels like we're tracing the story of something bigger than ourselves," she said, emotion thick in her voice. "It's like we're stitching together a quilt of voices that have long been muted." Lena reached across the table, her hand enveloping Isabella's. "Together," she said, "we're amplifying those voices and building something beautiful. I think it's so important for others to see their stories reflected in art." As their work progressed, life began to shift in delightful ways. They started gaining recognition not only for the exhibitions, but also for their upcoming book project. Their connection blossomed both personally and professionally, a fusion of passions rooted in empathy, understanding, and a shared vision. Yet amidst their successes, Isabella still grappled with her family's legacy. The pain of her grandmother's unfulfilled love weighed heavily on her heart. It ebbed and flowed, sometimes threatening to overshadow the joy they had cultivated together. One day, after a particularly emotional session with a guest artist who had shared her struggles with family acceptance, Lena found Isabella staring out over the water from a park bench, deep in thought. Lena approached cautiously, sensing the shift in Isabella's energy. She sat beside her, their elbows brushing. "Is everything okay?" Lena asked softly, noting the furrowed brow. Isabella hesitated before speaking, her gaze fixed on the horizon. "I just keep thinking about my grandmother. I wonder if she ever felt the love that we have. It drives me to fight harder for her story, and those like hers." Lena's heart ached for Isabella. "You are fighting for her story, and it matters. Your courage is making a difference for so many people. But you don't have to carry the weight of her past alone. We're in this together." "That's the thing," Isabella murmured, turning to face Lena. "I want to be strong for both of us, but sometimes I miss her. I want to make her proud." "Then let's honor her together," Lena suggested gently. "Let's invite more stories into our project. Let's use our platform to uplift others through love and resilience. It could help you find closure." With each passing day, Isabella sensed the love between them, allowing her to gradually untangle from her fears. Because Lena mirrored not only her grandmother's tenacity in honoring the past, but her own strength in pursuing a future filled with possibility. As they prepared for the upcoming book launch and wrapped up the exhibition, a profound connection blossomed between them and the community. Artists and supporters alike rallied around them, sharing their stories like a tide washing upon the shore. The launch night arrived, and the museum overflowed with vibrant energy. Voices mingled, laughter floated through the hall, and the artwork came alive as each piece held a story shared by its creator. Lena and Isabella stood hand in hand, at the heart of it all. As Lena addressed the crowd, a sense of solidarity sparked among everyone present. "This book is not just a collection of art, it's a living testament to love in all its forms. To the struggles and triumphs, to the voices once lost now reclaimed. We stand here together, woven into a narrative that celebrates authenticity, resilience, and love." Isabella followed, her voice steady as she added, "May we continue to honor those who came before us, and may we inspire those yet to create. Love is a beautiful tapestry, and together we can make it stronger." The audience erupted in applause, hearts resonating with the power of their words and the emotional tapestry that had been woven throughout the evening. The air was thick with hope, possibility, and connection. After the event, while the lights faded and the crowds began to disperse, Lena and Isabella found themselves alone in a quiet corner of the museum, the magic of the evening still flickering in their hearts. Isabella turned to Lena, her eyes bright with unshed tears. "Tonight was incredible. Thank you for being my partner, for believing in me, and for sharing this journey." "No, thank you," Lena replied, stepping closer, her heart fluttering. "Your strength has carried us. Together we have turned pain into power, and it's beautiful." Under the gentle glow of the moon outside, they retrieved the very first canvas that had brought them together, the portrait of Lilith and Clara. They placed it in a prominent spot, now framed and cherished. "Here's to honoring our past," Isabella said, her voice barely above a whisper. "And here's to our future." With a soft kiss that sealed their promise, they leaned into each other, knowing they had forged a bond that would withstand the tests of time, not just as curators of art, but as curators of love, legacy, and hope. And as they stood before the painting, the whispers of lost love evolved into a resounding anthem of courage, inspiration, and the beauty of being true to oneself. Their journey transcended the walls of the museum, echoing into the hearts of those who would come after them, forever changing the narrative of love, community, and art. As the days turned into weeks, the Coastal Art Museum flourished under the vibrant energy of Lena and Isabella's collaborative efforts. The opening night had solidified not just their presence within the community, but also the profound impact their initiatives were having on others. Artists whose works reflected the struggles and joys of queer love continued pouring into the museum, eager to share their stories alongside the legendary figures like Lilith Marrow and Clara. Lena and Isabella found themselves busier than ever, mulling over feedback from their book launch and organizing events that fostered dialogue and connection among artists and attendees alike. They worked side by side, their commitment to uplifting every voice palpable in the enthusiasm they brought to the museum. Each interaction brought forth new relationships, new stories, and above all, new layers to their love. One rainy afternoon, while Lena was cataloging submissions for an upcoming exhibition about contemporary queer voices, Isabella entered her office with a bright smile that illuminated the gray sky outside. "Guess what?" she exclaimed, holding a newspaper clipping in her hand. "We've been featured in Art Digest. They're highlighting our book and the impact it's having on the community." Lena felt her heart flutter as she took the clipping from Isabella. The words danced across the page, celebrating their work, their voices, and their contributions to the art world. "This is incredible," she gasped, tracing her fingertips along the headline. "I can't believe it. This is going to bring even more attention to the artists we've been showcasing." Isabella's eyes sparkled with pride, but there was something deeper there too, a hint of vulnerability. "I want to ensure that we also take time to focus on what matters most," she said, her expression turning earnest. "Sharing the stories that might be overlooked even within our own projects." "You're right," Lena said, feeling the intensity of Isabella's gaze. "We can create a special section in our next exhibition for artists who might feel marginalized even in queer spaces. Let's not only amplify loud voices but also those whispering their truths from the shadows." Emboldened by their shared vision, the duo spent the next few weeks actively seeking submissions from artists who identified as BIPOC members of the LGBTQ+ community, individuals with disabilities, and other often marginalized identities. Opening those doors sparked a wave of anticipation and excitement, and artists who had long felt ignored began to share their work eagerly. On the evening of their next exhibition launch, the gallery buzzed with anticipation. The walls adorned with vibrant paintings, haunting photographs, and multimedia installations reflected deep emotions and raw truths. As visitors crowded around the artwork, Lena stood beside Isabella, her heart swelling with pride. Isabella glanced around, mesmerized by the magnitude of what they had created. "We made this happen," she said, a mixture of disbelief and joy in her voice. "We've amplified voices that have been ignored for far too long. Look at the people in this room, so many stories interwoven." Just then, a young artist approached them, her cheeks flushed with excitement. "Thank you both for including my piece. It's my first time exhibiting, and I can't believe this is happening." Lena beamed. "Your work deserves to be seen. You've poured your heart into this art, and we're honored to showcase it." Isabella stepped forward, her eyes kind and encouraging. "Your story is beautiful, and it resonates with so many. I hope this opens more doors for you." As the night continued, the laughter and conversations filled the space with warmth and love. Lena and Isabella drifted through the crowd, sharing laughs and making connections. The diversity in the room sang, a collective symphony of experiences celebrating the power of community. But as the festivities swelled, Isabella felt a small tug of anxiety at the back of her mind. Given how far they had come, she couldn't shake the fear of her grandmother's legacy resurfacing. While the night was a success, questions loomed over her heart like shadowy figures, reminders of the past she was still grappling to process. In a moment of quiet, as the event began to wind down, Isabella pulled Lena aside to a secluded corner lined with warm lights and verdant plants, the same nook where they had shared quiet moments before, and where their love had blossomed. "Lena," Isabella began, her voice catching slightly. "This evening has been extraordinary. But I need us to take a moment to talk." Lena's brow furrowed with concern. "What's on your mind?" Isabella took a deep breath and gathered her thoughts. "I've loved every moment of our journey together," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. "But sometimes, I still struggle with my grandmother's history. I worry about not living up to the legacy she left behind, and what that means for us." "Oh, Isabella," Lena's heart ached, instinctively stepping closer to wrap her arms around Isabella. "Your journey is not about living up to someone else's legacy, it's about creating your own. Your grandmother's experiences are part of the tapestry that brought you here, yes, but they don't define who you are now or the love we share. But it feels like my need to honor her has overshadowed what we've built," Isabella whispered, tears shimmering in her eyes. "What if I'm so focused on her story that I leave mine untold?" Lena cupped Isabella's face gently in her hands, her thumbs brushing away the tears. "You're not leaving your story untold. You're writing it every day, with every choice you make and every piece of art you help bring into the world. And I'm right here beside you. Let's tell her story, but also let's make sure we're writing ours too, together." As their eyes locked, a profound understanding settled between them. Isabella's heart swelled with gratitude, knowing that at her side stood a partner willing to navigate even the darkest corners of her fears. "I love you," Isabella said, her voice steadied by conviction. "I want us to write our future together, free of the shadows that linger from the past." "Me too," Lena replied, her smile radiant. "And right now, in this moment, let's celebrate this journey we've embarked on together, without any reservations." Isabella nodded, a newfound spark igniting within her. They knew that with every step forward, they were rewriting not just their stories but the narratives of love, family, and identity, embracing both the light and the shadows, unafraid to walk hand in hand through every moment. As they stepped back into the vibrant atmosphere of the exhibition, Lena and Isabella celebrated not only their commitment to the community, but also the deepening love that flourished between them. The air around them swirled with laughter, conversations, and an energy that illuminated not just the room, but their future as well, a future as boundless as their creativity and as rich as the stories yet to be told. With hearts open wide and hands entwined, they danced through the celebration of art and love. United in their mission to illuminate the lives of others while cherishing their own, Lena and Isabella understood that together, they could elevate not just their voices but the myriad of harmonies around them, creating a legacy both beautiful and lasting. And as the night unfolded, they reveled in the beauty of their shared journey, a journey that promised to tell stories that would echo through generations, resonating long after the night came to an end.